This Cowboys Report mailbag made possible by Manscaped, just like my beard, thanks to their Beard Hedger Kit. Use promo code Cowboys over at manscaped.com to get 20% off and free shipping. That's manscaped.com, promo code Cowboys. All your questions coming in today are either super thanks or they're pretty much super chats. There are a ton of them, especially Michael Waller's doing the $50 super chat. And as you can see on live, it doesn't show the actual emoji sticker. It just shows the description. So pair character right on a firework rocket disappearing away before bursting in the sky. Thank you, Michael, for the $50 super chat. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. What a way to start the mailbag here on the Cowboys. There are also some super thanks I wanted to get to. From G Sound says, thanks for the good news about Dan Quinn. That, of course, was on our Dan Quinn gets to stick around as the Cowboys defensive coordinator video. Thank you for watching, my friend. Super thanks is still available on YouTube. I know not everyone can watch the live shows, so it's a way for you to donate outside of live. And we'll still give you shout-outs, answer your questions, whatever. If you super thanks, you can check it out. It's a little heart with the $sign in the middle of it, just above the comment section. From Matt Batten, several more super chats here. He says, draft Tennessee wide receiver Jalin Hyatt, Jahmyr Gibbs in the second round. Yes to 2 live streams a week. We will have another live stream Thursday night, prime time. So you guys are getting your requests. We'll see how it goes. Prime time Thursday for you. I'm fine with Hyatt. Brings you speed. Then Gibbs brings you speed too. Not quite sure if they're going to be like the most obvious option, but they certainly fit in that range. Matt Batten had several super chats. He also said to hire Zac Robinson from the Rams to help out Dak along with Hyatt and Gibbs. So I'm not sure you can get Zac Robinson. I'm not sure he wants to go be a non-play calling OC, which he's kind of in that role and has a better stock situation with Sean McVay than he will with Mike McCarthy. He also says, along with some other ones there, to go get DeAndre Hopkins in a trade. Hopkins is a fun idea. I think you might be able to get him for a second-round pick and maybe another day 3 pick, but you'd have to pay him a big new contract, and you got to pay Lamb. Do you want to invest that amount of money in a wide receiver? I'm not sure you do, especially one who's played fewer games than Amari Cooper has the past 2 years. What do you think? Do you want DeAndre Hopkins in a trade? Y for yes, N for no. Vote for me in the comment section. A few more from that, but we promise to give him some shout-outs here. Once again, he wants to hire Zac Robinson after the firing of Kellen Moore. Matt has some super chats we'll get to later on in today's show, too. Hayden Miller says, trade Dak for Rodgers, draft a QB, same cap hit. It's not the same cap hit. If you trade him right now, and you could make it work a little bit more if you did it like after June 1st, but no one ever does that because you don't get him until June 1st. It's actually about $70 million you'd be paying, actually over $7 million you'd be paying Dak and Rodgers this year. That's just not a good financial move. Chris B, thoughts on Big Mike calling the plays? It's like it's his last big stand. He's taken all the responsibility. Fear is it crumbles and Kellen is great. That's the fear. I'm going to be nervously hopeful about Mike McCarthy calling the plays moving forward. From really depressed Cowboys fan, Super Bowl prediction. I have the Eagles winning 27-20. Very possible outcome. I think the Eagles are a fantastic football team. I would like if the Joneses went, maybe we should be a little bit aggressive in the offseason. Not sure they'll do that in the end. From Jeremy Chugs' burner, wouldn't mind Bijan if they did anything in free agency. Seems like they rely too much on the draft. Last year felt like a soft rebuild. I don't disagree. It would not surprise me if they didn't do much of anything in free agency, which, yes, would absolutely break my heart. Manscaped has launched the Beard Hedger. They're taking care of your other head and the facial hair on it by utilizing the single greatest beard pro kit out there. It's got the actual razor, right? The Beard Hedger, the AC adapter, USB-C cable to make charging easier, beard shampoo, beard conditioner, beard oil, beard balm, a travel bag, bonus pack, you get the accessories. It's the beard brush, the beard comb, the beard scissors. So many products, all to make that head look great. 20% off and free shipping when you use promo code Cowboys over at manscaped.com. 20% off, manscaped.com. when you use promo code Cowboys. That link, by the way, will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. Big ups to Manscaped for sponsoring things here at the Cowboys Report. More supers. Oh, so many of them. Draft USC wide receiver Jordan Addison. I'm down. I'm not sure he's going to be there, but he does fit what I think you need at the wide receiver position. From Aaron Evans, thoughts on Kellen Moore's departure. Cowboys ranked second in points scored and yards gained under Moore. More credit to Dak and company or Kellen Moore. It's a great question of who gets the blame, who gets the credit for when the offense does well, top 5 last couple years, when it doesn't do well, losing in the games that matters the most and the offense struggling. It's probably a bit of column A, probably a bit of column B. But the real answer, I don't think we're going to know until we see how things go this year, next year. Maybe they're both good. Maybe they're both not as good next year either. From Matt Batten, hire Zac Robinson, cut Zeke, draft Gibbs. Should we trade for Judy or D-Hop? Love the show. Thanks for not being rude to me. Of course, Matt. Happy to have you here. Appreciate you watching. I actually would like to trade for Jerry Judy. I don't know if they would do that. The Broncos, I should say, because they're still trying to win with Russ, I suspect, although that search has been kind of a dicey one so far. I'd call. I doubt I'm going to get an offer that would be good enough from the Cowboys' perspective. Speaking of OC, Minty Fresh. You got me, Jeremy. Hire Romo as OC. A non-play calling role for Romo makes way more sense than just giving him the play calling duties because you like that he's good on air. Look, Romo, is not. I don't think he's been as great on air of late. I feel like he's kind of been away from the game a little bit there. I personally have no desire to hire a coach who has never coached, never done this thing, and say, you can now call all the offensive plays. If he wants to be my quarterback's coach, sure. Romo ain't giving up the ridiculous deal he has from CBS Sports to come take a higher stress job with way less pay and just not as much fun. So Romo ain't happening. But realistically, who do you want to hire as the OC? Let me know in the comments section. All is well. I think Dallas would love to get Devin Witherspoon. His highlights are crazy. He said he'd love to play for Quinn. I mean, look, the players know now. Link yourself to Dallas. Good things will potentially happen for you. I'd be surprised if they moved up. I love Witherspoon. I'm a big fan. Great production this year at Illinois. Little skinny. Not sure he's the fastest cornerback out there. I'd love him in Dallas. If he's there at 26, let's ride. I'm not going to assume, however, that you trade up for him. I'd be a bit surprised if they were that aggressive. And what I think is a pretty good cornerback class in that mid to late round 1, early round 2 range. Michael Walden, Cowboys fan here, but bringing that trophy to the NFC East. Jeremy loves it. I'll be cheering for the Chiefs myself. Cool Sharky, get Eric B. since he's used to not calling plays, just relays plays to Mahomes that Andy Reid calls. But I think if you're Eric Bieniemy, Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, Mike McCarthy, Dak Prescott. That's a pretty easy decision in terms of who you'd rather be the OC for. Valentino Urbina, or I think it's Urbina, get Dak and Zeke out. I think you'll get Zeke out. That contract's very easy to cut. Maybe a pay cut, but if Zeke is back at his cap hit, once again, fire the organization into the sun. Fargate 01. I am on board with letting Kellen go, but I hope we don't stay in-house and McCarthy calling plays. Rather have outside help like Leftwich and a new quarterback coach. I would like some new ideas. I don't really think that McCarthy's going to be a true full-on outside idea, but I agree, but my hopes are low. From Grant Rainwater, pick up Deron Payne and trade for DeAndre Hopkins. You can also get David Montgomery for cheap. Not sure how cheap Montgomery would be, but if you want a cheaper than Zeke's current cap hit, RB1B to pair with Tony Pollard, Montgomery's a pretty quality name who I don't think will be as expensive as some of the other backs in free agency this year. More from Matt Batten. Yes, love super thanks. You're the best guys. Thank you, Matt, and everyone else who watches us here at the Cowboys Report. He says Zac Robinson helped Matt Stafford with the takeoff problems with the Rams. I would like Robinson. That's a new idea. You get some McVay elements. Expectations are low. Christian J. Pierce says Dak over Rodgers. Come on, guys, it's pretty obvious. I think in general, we hold different quarterbacks to different standards. And imagine the outcry if Dak Prescott lost a win-and-in game against the Detroit Lions and didn't play very well. Certainly would not be clamoring for a trade of that quarterback. Chris B. Going to find out if it's Dak gets the credit for the offense or if it's Kellen. Could possibly be McCarthy and Dak's last year if they fail. I'm curious what they do this offseason with Dak's contract because just restructure it is my mindset. But I will say, I think in general, the Joneses are very good at setting up a different scapegoat every year. No, even though for the last almost 30 years, you haven't found anything that's worked, and there's been one constant, and that's ownership. All right, 3 super chats in a row here from Matt, so we'll read them off. Why pay Diggs? Don't trade for Ramsey. And DJ Chark, he's a good receiver, signed with the Lions. Don't re-sign him. Not sure how much he's going to cost you, but he does bring you the speed there. And then this one was on Diggs. We should pay Diggs, but only at $17 or $16 million. So that would come in below the likes of Xavier Howard, below Trey White, below Darius Slay, J.C. Jackson, what Byron Jones got initially. It's barely top 10 cornerback money. I don't think Diggs accepts that. I think if you want to pay Diggs early, got to pay him big-time money. I'm fine doing that. I think if you offer 16, 17, I think it's more of the same lowballing moves from the Cowboys front office. From Joey, draft a quarterback in round 1 like Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson, whether it's for the Cowboys or any franchise, will either be a, wow, we got a top 5-ish quarterback in the NFL, and we all just got extended in big, fat new contracts, or we're all fired, and we just set the franchise back like 3 or 4 years. Because he's going to need time. You're sinking in the time because he's a raw prospect, and either he develops into the next Josh Allen, or he ends up being, the Jake Lockers of the world, where it's a big arm, he's an athlete, but it never actually pans out there. The upside's very much there. But man, that downside is terrifying too. So when it comes to the draft, who do you want the Cowboys to take? Let me know in the comments section, and make sure you guys are subscribed. We'll have plenty of draft coverage for you here on the Cowboys Report. Don't miss out. Hit that sub button for free right now. Several from Mark we'll get to here in a little bit. Tom just with the Dalton comment from a few days back. It's when I said you can't do, well, he kind of fills it in here. But over the rush light quarterback and $30 million, a ton of picks for Dak. Dalton's okay, but he had 0 practice during the COVID era in a new system. I mean, he had enough practice as far as I'm concerned. He's also been the same guy with the Saints. This is McCarthy's time to show off. Show he's an offensive guru. Never made sense of a rookie play caller instead of a guru calling plays. Wide receiver, guard, DT, and we are set. I think you're right on the position groups there. A lot of pressure on Mike now. This does not work. He's probably fired. From Will Marshall, maybe Dan Quinn is a better DC than head coach. Let's focus on one area. If Mike falls next year, I don't think DQ wants that or any head coaching job. I think he does want a head coaching job. This is the first time I've ever disagreed with a Will Super Chat. He might be better as a DC, by the way. But if you're Dan Quinn, especially as a defensive mind, you get one more chance. It has to be the right chance, especially when you're getting basically a lifetime DC contract right now from Jerry Jones. Like, he ain't going anywhere. So it has to be the correct job. Maybe it's Dallas. Last year it was Denver. He didn't get it. I don't think there was really one this year that appealed to him all that much. So he will be patient because he can afford to be. From Mark, the trade draft, doesn't he have a no-trade clause? He does. Don't want to extend him. Dak just had to agree to a trade, would save a ton of money. If it's after June 1st, you do, but the timing does not make a lot of sense there. Dak would have to agree to a trade, yes. I would do this. This is just my idea. Restructure him, and if it's bad again or worse or whatever, then just eat the money and actually go rebuild. Because here's my mindset. Matt is kind of in a similar mind. Don't trade Dak. It's an awful idea. I love you guys. And you know what? Let's go to Michael's here, too. It's all kind of the same end result for me. When it's time to accept the rebuild, I have no faith in this current roster. Maybe bring another receiver that'll help Dak for 2 years. I agree on the wide receiver standpoint. Here's my mindset. We, for the most part, agreed, hey, asking Dak to carry CeeDee Lamb and Noah Brown and Jalen Tolbert, it went the way we thought it might go. It wasn't good enough. I don't think anyone believes Dak's on that Mahomes, Burrow, whatever tier you want to make it of, guys that can just will you deep, which And those guys have talent too, right? So what I would do, how about you go be aggressive for once? Restructure Dak, bring that cap hit down way low, or you're talking $22 million in savings by doing that. Be aggressive. If it fails, actually rebuild. Eat the bad money for Dak for a year or two. That's fine. You're rebuilding. Be bad for 2 years. Actually embrace a bottoming out instead of doing all this half-measure stuff where you're drafting mid to late 20s and you're not really getting that same type of quarterback unless you get super, super lucky again. Kind of an issue. So no more half measures. Be aggressive. If it fails, then rebuild.